So, Keri, how's it going in life of rock and roll these days?
All is good, man. I'm just trying to make it happen, man. We got a new Revenge coming out, which we're very happy with, proud of, and that's what we're here to talk about, you know. And the other side of the coin, you know, they've got Night Rangers been rocking the planet, and everything is good, man. Everything is good.
And you're keeping busy, I can see, and a new Revenge, a super group that we cannot imagine, you know, would have been made. You know, you got great musicians with you. Should be a good feeling.
Yeah, man. I mean, a new Revenge is great, man. Obviously, myself, we have Tim Ripper Owens, obviously Rudy Sarzo, and then James Kotak, you know, from the 21 years in the Scorpions, and the whole project was cool, man. It's just about friends, you know, coming together and making some music and making some art, man. I really dug the way the record came out, and we're happy and proud that this damn thing is finally coming out.
Enemies and Lovers, where you get the title from? Whose idea was it to get this album called Enemies and Lovers?
Oh, well, it's the name of one of the songs, and I just thought it was kind of interesting, and I asked the guys, I said, hey, you know, we're thinking about what we were going to call the record, you know, should just have it self-titled or whatever, and I said, hey, how about Enemies and Lovers? And I think Tim wrote back first. It was on via email, and I think he said, yeah, I like it, it's great, and I think everybody else chimed in saying, yeah, cool, so we just went with it. I think it's kind of, you know, kind of goes hand in hand, too. It's a new Revenge. It's like, you know, Revenge, Enemies, and Lovers, so it all kind of ties in together.
Yeah, basically how you get all together and to make this idea of a new supergroup.
Yeah, well, you know, I don't ever go with the term supergroup. I mean, you know, if you had a group with, like, Ozzy singing and, like, Slash on guitar and, you know, John Bonham on drums, we could resurrect him. I mean, I'd call that a supergroup. But anyway, I mean, it's cool. I mean, it's just, we're just like a gang, man. We're just like guys that love to play rock and roll. We've been playing rock and roll for decades. Obviously, you know, some guys, you know, longer than others. But how we kind of got the band together, it was very simple and very organic. I was on tour back a few X amount of years ago with Alice Cooper, and James was playing with the Scorpions, and we were on a tour together in Russia. It was a month-long tour, and we were hanging out a lot. And I had known James from LA anyway, and we said, hey, why don't we do something like, you know, different, like for fun or whatever? He said, yeah, dude, I'd love to do something. We go, wow, who can we get? And I said, oh, dude, Ripper's awesome, and have Rudy on bass is a legend. So the promoter in Russia had heard us talking about this or whatever, and he said, hey, if you put this thing together, I'll bring you over. So we got back from the tour. I just literally called up Tim and called up Rudy and said, hey, we could put this like kind of like a jam band, because at that time we were kind of just playing songs from, you know, each of the bands, like, you know, a couple songs from Judas Priest, a couple songs from, you know, Alice Cooper, a couple songs from Scorpions, etc. This promoter will bring us over to Russia. We do a couple weeks worth of dates, and we went over there, did the dates. We had a blast. They were awesome, and then we just kind of continued a little at a time. Like I said, it's been a long time coming to get this thing out, but you know, we finally got enough songs put together that can get a whole record, and we're happy it's coming out.
And Keri, how's working with the music videos? You know, The Way and Never Let You Go. You know, I mean, you guys got good looking videos here, good quality, good lights. Was it a lot of work to do the music videos?
Yeah, the videos are cool, man. You know, we got this director. You know, the guy that directed it and produced them, I guess, is this guy named Fran Strine. Great guy, killer dude, loves rock and roll or whatever. And he's a filmmaker. He actually did that kind of like rock and roll movie called Hired Gun, about different guitar players and stuff like that. And yeah, he just set it up. He got his little crew in there, and we banged it out, man. We had a blast that day doing it.
This is one good question for you. Is there any vacations in music? Like let's say you're a hard worker and you work hard. Do you ever have time off yourself that, you know, you can relax a little bit more? Or is it just always on the go? I mean, you're a busy person.
Yeah, to be honest with you, I mean, pretty much on the go. I mean, I just keep, dude, like a shark, man. You just got to keep swimming and keep rolling. I mean, I've always kind of, worked hard and I tried not to be mediocre. Let's put it that way. But I don't know if it's something my parents kind of instilled in me from when I was a kid. But yeah, I mean, I just like playing and like working. I obviously have many different bands I've been involved with in the past and side projects. Obviously now we have a new Revenge, and then I still have Night Ranger going. And then as well, I own these two scratch kitchen restaurants and craft beer bars in Las Vegas called Aces and Ales. So we've had two of those for the last 10 years, and we're building a third location right now, a brand new build, first generation, and it's going to incorporate a brewery as well. Besides, I live in California. I'm like zigzag from California to Vegas to Night Ranger, back to Vegas to California, back out to Night Ranger shows. And so it's it's pretty hectic. But if not, I'd be bored, man. I got to tell you the truth. I'm not one that just sits around and watches TV.
And that's very well said. I mean, you got two choices in life: work like Keri Kelli or watch TV.
I want to be like Keri Kelli. I don't know.
me too.
Sorry, it's kind of hard to hear you do that.
Basically, you're just work, and everything's being delivered, and a new Revenge is kicking ass. From what I'm seeing, your videos represent themselves very well. I should say, very well. And
thank you.
And Tim Owens always kills it, man. He's a great singer.
Yeah, on that, Tim is such a great guy. I mean, all the guys in the band are killer dudes, but Tim is like, one of the nicest cats, and I've never seen the guy go crazy. Every time I've been with him, nicest dude in the world. He likes to work hard as well. Has family, man. Has family and everything, and his voice is just Jesus, man. When he opens his mouth, it's incredible, man. I mean, he's one of the greatest hard rock. Or metal, or whatever you want to call it. I call it hard rock, not because metal kind of has so many different, I guess, varieties these days. But yeah, he's great. I think on this record he did an incredible job. I think there's a lot of different elements that are cool on this record because sometimes people think, especially like him, it's going to be metal, screaming, and all that stuff. And of course, there are some heavier songs on the record, and they do have the screams and all that stuff that he's kind of known for, but. I think it's a slightly different side of him, a little bit more melodic, some big catchy choruses with big harmonies and stuff. So, yeah, all the guys did an incredible job on the record, but, Tim was outstanding. I think people will be a little bit, hopefully, pleasantly surprised at what he's done on this record.
No, you can really tell he's sounds very good, and your style is like what you described, different for Tim Ripper Owens. So, yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, absolutely, brother.
Yeah, well, thank you very much, Keri, for taking the time. I know you're a super busy guy. Really appreciate it. And as we're finally going here, remember asking me a while ago on the email system for a Lloyd Grant guitar player.
Yeah, no, I remember, yeah, and I actually I connected with him, and we have been trying to meet up, but we haven't been able to. Because, like I said, I met him back when I was a little kid out here in Orange County. I don't know if I told you the whole story, but,
no.
I only seen him maybe once or twice. I was younger than all those guys, the Metallica guys and all them. But we've been trying to hook up. We haven't been able to hook up yet, but I hope we can. And, we've been doing some cool stuff with Metallica, too, with my restaurant. They were in Vegas a couple of months ago, and we did a big giveaway for backstage passes with them and all this stuff. And then we're doing a giveaway for an autographed Metallica guitar coming up here in May, which is awesome. And then I'm actually going to go out and see the guys down in Lisbon on May 2nd. So I'm actually happy to do that. So, this whole Metallica thing has come like full circle, maybe even since we talked about Grant.
Awesome stuff. Well, that's great. I just wanted to know where it went with that. Good.
Yeah. Hey, thank you for connecting me with him. And like I said, I hope that I can get with him sometime. It's like we tried to plan some things, but it hasn't been able to work out. But I appreciate it, brother.
Hey, no problem. So,
man, thank you, man. Have a good day out there, man, and be safe. Talk to you soon.
All right, Keri. Talk later.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.